We're on the phone with House Speaker John Boehner. Thanks for joining us, sir.
Glad to be with you.
Mr. Speaker, President Obama has come out swinging at the GOP. He says he's tried every step of the way to get Republicans to work with him, but all he's gotten from you guys is no. In fact, he and leading Senate Democrats called you the party of no. What do you have to say to that?
Well, the majority leader and I sent a letter to the president late last week outlining what we thought were some areas of common agreement in his jobs bill. And whether it be passing the free trade agreements, which we expect to do as quickly as possible, or in the area of infrastructure, I think there's some common ground there. I don't believe his tax hikes are a starter at all. As a matter of fact, Democrats in the Congress, both in the House and Senate, have probably dumped more on his jobs bill than you've heard Republicans do.
Well, Majority Leader Cantor says the jobs bill is dead. Is that true?
I think there are parts of it where we can find common ground, and we'll try to work with the administration on those areas where we think we can work with them.
Some of the president's plans, such as tax cuts, seem reasonable, but then, as you mentioned, he added another $467 billion in new taxes. Now, do you feel that sometimes the president really doesn't want compromise and instead just wants to poke you in the eye?
Well, there's no question that come about Labor Day, the president decided that he was going to be in campaign mode. And that's all we've seen here over the last 4 weeks is campaign speeches, one after another. Somebody at the White House press briefing several weeks ago asked the press secretary, well, what happened to governing? And Jay Carney looked at the reporter and said, you're looking in the rearview mirror. We've got big challenges in America, big challenges that have to be addressed. They require the attention of the president. Yet, he appears to be running for re-election. And so instead of a lot of rhetoric, it's time to get down and find the common ground that the American people sent us here to find in order to help our country.
Obama now admits people are not better off than they were 4 years ago, as he mentioned the famous Ronald Reagan campaign quote. And after blaming former President Bush for just about anything for so long, he now appears to be owning up to the economic crisis. Is this long overdue, Mr. Speaker?
Well, I think it is. I mean, they've had nearly 3 years now to see if their plan works, and clearly their ideas about how to get our economy going again have not worked. So I'm hoping the president will listen to Republicans on Capitol Hill and work with us on our jobs agenda, which is about controlling and reducing our debt. It's about overhauling our tax code, both the corporate code and the personal code, and stopping the regulatory onslaught that's coming out of Washington, D.C.
And along the lines of what you just mentioned, House Republicans have passed several bills aimed at job creation, yet Harry Reid refuses to bring any of them up in the Senate. How do you solve that?
Well, that is correct. And today at a press conference, I called on the president to call on the Senate Democrats to consider the bills that we've sent over there. We've sent at least a dozen bills to roll back or delay these onerous regulations that are hampering our economy and killing jobs. And we're going to be doing 2 of those bills on the floor of the House this week. One that will make it virtually impossible to manufacture cement in the United States, and the other one is on boilers that are used to heat and cool buildings that could threaten 250,000 American jobs. Here are 2 regulations that are over the top. That we hope that the Senate will take up and work with us, so we're not out there eliminating jobs in America.
You felt that you and the president came to agreement on the grand bargain, but then, in your words, the White House moved the goalposts by demanding an additional $400 billion in revenues, which amounted to a tax increase. Do you now trust the White House in your negotiations?
Well, it wasn't just that they moved the goalposts and wanted more money. I never got the president to a point where I ever said yes about real fundamental change to our entitlement programs that are driving the spending machine here in Washington. There are some common sense things that we can do that most people will never notice, that will have a dramatic effect on the budget deficit and on our debt. But the president, he could never get the yes. And so here over the last couple of months, I would have to admit that the level of trust between the White House and the Congress has ebbed a bit. But again, the American people sent us here to try to find some common ground, and it's that common ground that I'm looking for.
You mentioned his campaign speeches, or what seemed like campaign speeches. He went into your district and he criticized you and Mitch McConnell during what was ostensibly a job speech. What do you think about that?
Well, it was a political stunt, and I think people looked at it as a political stunt. Even if the money had been approved for the replacement of this bridge, the Cincinnati Enquirer reported it would still be 4 or 5 years away before any job would be created. And so we welcomed the president to the Midwest. We gave him a good dose of Midwest hospitality, and we wished him well when he left.
All right, on another big, huge matter, new documents reveal Attorney General Eric Holder was briefed on Operation Fast and Furious as early as July 2010. That directly contradicts what Holder told the Judiciary Committee hearing this past May. House Republicans are now calling for a special counsel to determine whether Holder perjured himself. Does there appear to be a cover-up here, and if so, should Holder resign or be fired?
Well, I think the members of the House Judiciary Committee are going to get to the bottom of this. This program has raised an awful lot of eyebrows. There are a lot of questions that are unanswered, and this latest revelation about when the Attorney General knew what he knew, had been briefed on it, raises even more questions. And so I'm hopeful that my colleagues that serve on this committee will stay at it, and frankly, I have no doubt that they'll get to the bottom of this program that has caused so much chaos.
Have you spoken with Representative Darrell Issa on this?
I have spoken with my chairman, and I'm confident they'll stay at it.
You made good on your campaign promise to repeal Obamacare in the House. Of course, Reid killed the bill over in the Senate. But now, the Obama administration is asking the Supreme Court to quickly review a lower court decision striking down the individual mandate. As such, are you confident the law will be overturned?
Well, I think Obamacare is doomed, and whether this court decision will doom it, we'll have to let the court to decide. But secondly, I think the next election could doom Obamacare, and if it's not the next election, I think it's going to fall of its own weight. Obamacare, in my view, will ruin the best health care delivery system in the world, and frankly, I think it'll bankrupt our nation. It has to go, and frankly, I'm pretty confident that it will go.
After Standard & Poor's downgraded the U.S. credit rating, the Securities and Exchange Commission launched a probe of S&P for insider trading. Recently, SEC started enforcement action against S&P for their ratings of questionable debt instruments. This while Fitch and Moody's both skate. Is this political payback, and if so, will Congress investigate the potential abuse of power by the SEC?
Well, I think that we are going to keep a close eye on what the SEC is doing. Clearly, these rating agencies really missed the boat when it comes to the rating of some of these debt instruments that were issued in 2005, 6, 7, 8. And as a result, some believe that these rating agencies are coming after the government to make up for their own shortcomings in the past. And I do believe that our members, the Energy and Commerce Committee, or probably the House Financial Services Committee, will be looking at what the SEC is doing in order to make sure that they're not going after the private sector unnecessarily.
House Speaker John Boehner, thank you so much, sir. We appreciate it.
Thank you, sir. We'll see you soon.
And thank you for watching Newsmax TV.